Well, everyone, most of you know me. I'm Neil Smith, NKS Financial. We are so blessed to have Roger Savy here. I've known Roger for quite a number of years. His official title, I have to look this up, is EVP of Strategic Partner Development. He also has a title of CEO of his company called Roger That. It's a coaching company. I personally prefer Ambassador of Optimism. I also like the Unshackler. He's going to get you unstuck. But I came up with my own title of Roger, and I call him the Tony Robbins of real estate. So Roger's amazing, and I really think you're going to get some good value out of today. With that, Roger, why don't you take over?
Neil, always great to be introduced by you. Thank you so very much. And I'm very proud to call you a friend and a business colleague. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I can see some of your smiling faces. Thank you for entertaining me today in your office, in your home. I'm extraordinarily excited to be here. This discussion this morning is about stopping selling. And that might sound strange, but stopping selling and start attracting. This is a new world. This is a world where people demand that they trust you before they move forward. So stop selling and start attracting. And it is my intention to whet your appetite that there is a way, these 1-degree tweaks where you can stop the ABC of always be closing and make ABC always be contributing. Can everybody clearly hear me? Show me some jazz hands. You can hear me clearly? That is fantastic. So Neil, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and share. Let's see what I got here. All right. Second. Neil, can you see my slides? All right. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard this concept of being transformational versus being transactional. Being transactional is so easy. Being transactional is so average. It's what the 80% of salespeople do. I've done my transaction. It's over now. Where's my next lead? They don't understand the concept of staying in contact with that client and becoming transformational. So it's easy to be mediocre. It's easy to be average. Welcome to this discussion. Welcome, because it is my intention by the end of this discussion for you to realize there is nothing worse in this world than being ignored. There is nothing worse than feeling your heart is in the right place, but no one is taking notice. Welcome to transformer selling rather than just being transactional. And the transformers in us, those that are no longer transactional, have mastered the art of referral selling. You know, when you're driving through the countryside and you see cows, that's fantastic. It's calm and it's gentle. But when you see the purple cow, you go, son of a gun, there's a purple cow. When you master referrals, you become like the purple cow in the field, as Seth Godin so wisely described. Transformers understand the lifetime value of a client. In other words, somebody they know, their client, somebody they know, knows somebody who should know them. That's the difference between referral thinking and lead thinking. This discussion is because you know people who know someone who should know you. So let's just dive in just a little deeper. So what is the goal of referral selling? I'm sure you would all agree. There are some people who work in real estate all the time, in loans all the time. They're working all the time, got no money. Yet there seem to be some people that work strategically, seem to be on vacation all the time, and just step out of the shadows, deliver a transaction, and go back on vacation. What is it about that? My job here is to bring that balance into your life, that when you're at home, you're not thinking about work. When you're at work, you're not thinking about home. That is the art of referral selling. I don't want to give you more income. I intend to demonstrate to you how to have more income per hour. When you know how to generate more income per hour, you can work less and make more and find that fabulous balance. So let's decide and let's move forward. So the transformation this morning is that by the end of this discussion, you will realize that it's easy to be average. What is the law of the vital few? The difference between attracting and selling. Understanding the lifetime value of a customer. What is flow? And simple habits that you can to bend the trends. To those of you that have received my workbook, I trust that you've got it pretty close by. I intend to give you some answers so you can look at that workbook. And if you feel inclined, you wish to reach out to me, all you have to do is take a picture of that back page and text it to my cell phone number. And I can't wait to chat with you individually. So let's keep going. Pareto's principle, the law of the vital few. You do realize that 80% of results come from 20% of what you do. Do you know what that means practically? It means 80% of your day is largely irrelevant. Vilfredo Pareto realized that if you went into Europe, 80% of the wealth of Europe is found in 20% of the countries. You go into any one of those countries, and 80% of the wealth is found with 20% of the people within those countries. There's that imbalance in the universe, and it works for everything. 80% of what you are going to achieve today, ladies and gentlemen, will only come from 20% of your activities. You do realize 80% of the wear of your carpet at home is found in 20% of the area. 80% of the commissions in your company go to 20% of the people. 80% of the divorces are caused by 20% of the people who marry and divorce so often, it skews the results. The 80-20 principle is there. Why am I telling you this? What are the 20% of activities that will give you the highest income per hour so that you can spend a little bit of extra time at home with your family? Because transformers, those transformational sellers, have learned to have a system which is predictable, that gives them predictable results, no matter whether you're a driver, whether you are an influencer, whether you're a steady, whether you're a cautious, or whatever you call, whether it's amiable, whether it's influencer, whether it's a driver, whatever your personality style is, it doesn't matter. It works for everybody because you are attracting rather than selling. Become what you wish to attract. That's what this discussion is. And if I am lucky enough to talk to any one of you into the future, that little 1-degree tweak to move from selling to attracting in a world where empathy is the new currency, trust, that elusive amount that people are seeking, building trust. So the 3 success keys for this discussion are your mindset, your skill set, and your actions. Mindset, of course, you know, is the most important for everything, whether it's with your spouse, whether it's with people at your country club, at your golf club, whether it's at church, whether it's your boss, your mindset. You decide how your day is going to go. Of course, your skill set and your actions. Let's keep going. So with mindset, are you a player or are you a victim? Psychiatrists and psychologists will tell you we normally have one of the 2 roles. You're either a player or you're a victim. And nobody wants to work for a victim. People would rather be associated with a player. And when I mean player, I mean someone who is proactive in their life, someone who's got great vibe that controls what they're thinking, controls what they're feeling. I've put this dreaded drama triangle in front of you. You see the victim at the bottom? Let me pick up my pointer there. Laser. There's the victim down here. The victim cannot move forward because why? There's either somebody or something that is persecuting them. There's some reason they can't be successful. And normally somebody in the office agrees with them, the rescuer. And the rescuer validates the persecutor, validates the victim, and then you've got the dreaded drama triangle. Nobody wants to be part of that. What's your energy? You're either adding energy to this world, ladies and gentlemen, or subtracting it. Referral selling people attract energy. They add energy to the world. So, first skill set, ladies and gentlemen, transformer principle number 1, stop selling. Stop selling. Look, people love vibe. I've just told you that. They love energy. But when they sense that energy is going to be used to manipulate them, to jump in and close, trying to close them, people have a scanner in their head, and that scanner goes off about every 5 seconds. They're waiting to see who's trying to manipulate them. So good energy doesn't mean you use that to try and close people. People sense it, and when they sense you're trying to manipulate them, people don't want to be manipulated. They want to be motivated by positive energy, by having people not put too much pressure on them. You'll notice the first thing people do is they try and get away. The second thing they do is they put up a shield, they ghost you. And if they still can't get away from you, they flat out reject you. They don't want to reject you. They try to get away at first. And you know, as a salesperson, as an attractor, as a transformer, we don't like rejection either. So what are we doing to attract these people rather than trying to close them, trying to manipulate them? So I've got to check in at this point. Neil, can you still hear me clearly? Thumbs up, all that good stuff. And please, ladies and gentlemen, treat this like Watergate. Break in anytime you wish. If you want to ask me a question, feel free to interrupt me and chat with me. And I know Neil will interrupt me if I...
And I'm looking at the chat room too. So
okay, thank you. All right. So would you agree, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot chase a cat. You try and chase a cat. It's different from a dog. That cat will keep running. That cat will keep running away from you. You've actually got to stop chasing the cat and go, here, kitty, kitty, here, kitty, kitty. And you've got to go, you have to add value. You have to bring something of value. The cat will stop, they will check you out, and then the cat will approach you. So the question is, what is your value that you bring? As a transformational salesperson who wishes to attract that cat, who wishes to attract that customer, who wishes to attract that referral, what value are you bringing to the table? As you know so well in the old days, ABC always stood for always be closing. Today it stands for always be contributing. What are you doing to contribute great energy to attract? What is your value proposition? What are those simple little tactics you could do to change your world for your client? So, would you agree with me? People will pay for two things. Two things. They'll pay for you to solve a problem, in other words, a pain point, and they will pay for you to make them feel good, a pleasure point. So when you are talking to people, when you are adding energy, you are listening for change. You are listening for change in their life. Change that either can help them solve a problem or bring them something extra to make them feel good. I stole this picture from the university in Utah University. It's a symbol of the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin is the moral molecule. It's the cuddle hormone. Whenever you're nice to people, you build up oxytocin. And at a certain point, people come back to you. That's called the law of reciprocity. When you're nice to people, you're actually working on oxytocin, the moral molecule. Now, why are there two faces here? Because oxytocin brings pain and pleasure. Pain of contractions, because that induces childbirth. Oxytocin, you up doctors upper level of oxytocin, contraction starts, and life comes into this world. Also, when you're nice to people, it's built up. So it could be something so simple to make people like you, to build trust. It could be a simple little note you write to them, or you could find them a home, or you're pre-qualifying them. What are you doing to solve a problem or to make people feel good? Let's keep going here. I know you've all heard of this. Larry Kendall was fantastic. He brought this to the world. Ford. F-O-R-D. Ford is the way you jump into people's life. Ford stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Every time you meet someone, you ask them either about their family or occupation or recreation and dreams. This is the way you climb into their lives. These are the four core values of most people. This is their life. Isn't it much better to ask people about this than saying, hey, you want to buy real estate? And second, you never ask people if they want to buy real estate. On some level, you ask them if they want to own real estate. There's a huge difference. Anyway, how can you be the answer to people's prayers if you don't know what they're praying for? How can you be the gift in their life if you don't know what the gift was intended for? How can you be a solutionist if you don't know, if you haven't got a problem to solve? You are become the gift, a solutionist, the answer to people's prayers when you decide to ask them great questions about Ford, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. I have all of these questions worked out. It's just a matter of you scanning that back page, sending it to me. I will get you all the stuff you need. And sometimes it's as simple as just listening for change, for pain, for pleasure. It could also be picking up the phone and saying, you know, I could kick myself I don't speak to you more often. I think of your family so often. Do you hear the naturalness in that tone? Or I was in your file last night and you crossed my mind. I remember what your kids were doing. Did you ever play golf in Vegas? Whatever it is, start with a big pink elephant. I haven't spoken to you for a while. Just get into it. Or you crossed my mind last night. I couldn't let another day go past. Do you hear the simplicity and the authenticity of how to get into these conversations? I can't wait to share that with you. So for most people, ladies and gentlemen, for most average salespeople, the transactional salespeople, everybody is concerned with the 8th year of real estate. In other words, I'll put you into a house, you're good for the next 7 to 9 years. And you just ignore. Then you go on looking, where's my next lead? You become average at that point. Everybody is obsessed with the 8th year of owning real estate. Everybody. That's why everyone's buying leads, selling leads on Zillow, looking for people in this 8th year. All of us being sucked into the vortex of average, of mediocre. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be only worried and obsessed about the 8th year. And average people are always scared of, oh, what about purple bricks? What about Insta offer? What about, because you're worried that these people might take away your business because you haven't created the insular, the moat around your business by staying in contact with the people that you have served. Let me sink in. Let that sink in for a bit. Everyone is obsessed with this year here. Whereas the transformer is different. The transformer is not worried about these so-called disruptors because they've learned about the lifetime value of a client. They've got the referral mindset. They know that it's all about relationships and staying in the flow with these forward questions. They understand this. So they've worked out. In the first year, they put someone in their house and they keep talking to that person. They know 4 people who will be buying or selling that year. And so as the years go on, what is the lifetime value of one client? Well, 4 on average per year until you get to the 8th year, plus that client's transaction. One client can end up giving you 33 transactions. Do you not see the beauty of staying in contact with a client? The lifetime value of a client is huge. Do you know what to say, how to say it, who to say it to in the most authentic way? This, ladies and gentlemen, is how the transformer conducts their business. But you have a challenge because each person knows about 12 realtors. How do you become the realtor of choice? How do you become the one that everybody wants? And so very briefly now, I'm going to describe the 9 habits of success in generating business. How you can become that silver bullet, that 20% of activities that generate 80% of the outcome. The law of the vital few that changes everybody's lives. You can still hear me, Neil? All good? Great job. Here we go. Here are the 5 daily habits. If you take nothing else away from this little discussion, take away the 5 daily habits of the transformer. Number 1, and it sounds trite, start with gratitude, ladies and gentlemen. Gratitude is the attitude that begins the receiving process. When you are grateful for what you've got currently, you attract more of it. It's a positive energy. It's an abundance mindset. Waking up in the morning and deciding, whose life am I going to change today? Whose life am I going to advance? How much time can that really take? Come on, just get into peak state first thing in the morning. Daily habit number 2. How do you show up? Do you show up lackluster? Do you show up at different times because you're not following your planner? Time blocking in the morning. Get sales and attitude and contribution done in the morning. Time block time for your customers. Is it your agenda that you're going to follow, or is it just, are you going to be pushed around by life? Either you're in control of your agenda or you're going to be controlled by somebody else. So when you decide, after getting yourself into peak state in the morning, and I've got a whole morning routine list. For those of you that have done Miracle Morning, you know this as well. Positive morning habits. You cannot be wealthy without wealthy habits. Then you are time blocked and ready to serve your clients with great attitude in peak state. Number 3, write 2 personal notes a day. 2 personal notes a day. It's old-fashioned. It's sexy. It's fabulous. And you write it with blue ink. And if you can still do cursive, fantastic. Right. Don't use the word I. Just say, dropping you this note. Say we. We always remember you. Talk about we, us, team, not I. Less is more, blue ink, curving the letters slightly to the right, onwards and upwards, and always have a PS. Why? PS is like a call to action. PS, is this the kids' birthdays, dates? Did you ever play golf in Vegas? PS is like a call to action. And when it arrives at people's houses, with handwritten, the first class stamp, it makes it into the house. It's old-fashioned, it's sexy, and 2 personal notes a day is not a huge time suck. Little things. make a huge difference. One thing can change everything. One thing can change everything. Focus on your hot list. What's your hot list? Your hot list is people who wish to buy or sell within the next 90 days. Look at that list often. Top producers look at that list all the time. All the time. Ask yourself, do they wish to do the paperwork today? What would make them move forward with the paperwork today? Look at that list often. You know they wish to buy or sell in the next 90 days. Stay with them in that flow of energy. Daily habit number 5. Focus on your warm list. What's your warm list? Your warm list are people who are interested in buying and selling, but they might not know it yet. But you know it. Why? Because you have been in the flow with them. You have been asking forward questions, and you are aware they've either been, there's been a death, there's been a divorce, there's been new babies, there's been promotion, they're empty nesters, their parents have passed away. I've got about 50 different reasons why people should be buying up, paring down, staying where they are. It's time to get into the flow with them. So look at these 5 simple habits that bend the trend in your life. These are trend benders. And oh my goodness, these 5 things, gratitude, time blocking, personal notes, focus on your hot list and your warm list, has taken up, oh my goodness, 15 minutes of your day. The law of few, those few things, those 20% of things that do 80%. You can do this. Why? You are a transformer. You are the purple cow. You are a solutionist. You are the gift. You are the gift. Think about this. If you truly believe you are the gift, if you truly believe you are the solutionist, then the people you're about to talk to are already a yes. Think about that. They're already, you have to get out of your own way. If you truly believe you are the gift, there should be no more fear. Neil, I find this so interesting. Fear is actually an absence of love. When you are fearful, it means there's an absence of love. Why should you be fearful of the love that you have for this profession, of adding value to people, of being in the flow with them, of staying in contact with them? Or are you just wanting to buy cold leads from Zillow? What an awful way to live our profession. So those are the 5 daily habits. Now there's the 4 weekly habits, and the 4 weekly habits should take no more than 2 to 4 hours of your week. Please notice I'm endeavoring to give you higher income per hour so that you can spend more time with your family. I don't fail. My mentors, my mentees have gone from crying because they can't afford rent to buying their 2nd and 3rd investment properties. I intend to captivate you with the same as well. The 4 weekly habits. And then we can look at the workbook. Make your customer calls. Simple. In a busy market, you may have to do it more, but call all your sellers under contract. Call all your buyers that you're working with. Give them updates. Remember, no news is also news as well. If the clients are calling you first, you may, I'm just saying you may be failing. Make your customer calls. You know, call everyone who has closed with you in the last week or month. Call them for a happy birthday. Call them for the anniversary. Your next client is embedded in your current transaction. Think about that. Your next clients are embedded in this current transaction. Be a master communicator. You are paid directly proportionately to how well you communicate. Understand that well. If your income is down, your communication skills are down. The best source of referrals are your current active clients. Habit number 2. Can you do 2 CMAs a day? 2 real estate. You guys could do that in your sleep. You've all normally worked for companies that have got software that can generate a real estate review in a second. Dropping it off at people's homes, meeting them for coffee and saying, my goodness, have you done well? Congratulations. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. You know, people get a monthly statement from their bank every month, telling them how much money went in, went out. Why can't they get a monthly statement from their realtor? Why not? Why not? You are a gift. You are a solutionist. What's holding you back? Or are you just waiting passively for your next lead? What is holding you back from becoming the solutionist? You could do this easily. 2 real estate reviews. Schedule 25 live interviews. Oh my goodness, people say, Roger, 25. 5 a day. You know what that means, live interviews? It means you've asked 5 people a day 4 questions. You have an open house, 5 people come to your open house, and you ask them 4 questions about their family, their occupation, their recreation, or their dreams. You've got 5 done. You just bump into people in Safeway over the romaine lettuce, or Smith's, wherever, or Kroger's, and you have a chat. You ask them about 4 questions. You've got your interviews done. Come on, it's about reminding you to get in the flow with people. And finally, update your database on a regular. At the end of every week, schedule in your planner, because you're a great realtor or loan officer, you've got scheduled work on database, where all those business cards that you collected during the week, all those phone numbers on little sticky pieces of paper on your desk, all those cards that you will find in the console of your car, in the inside of your jacket pocket, put them all together, update your database. Why? Because you're a professional, because you're a pro, because you're a gift, and match those people to profiles. Match them to property, talk to them, get into the flow. So ladies and gentlemen, let's just talk about the workbook for a second. I'm going to stop sharing here just for a second. I want to see the beautiful faces that I'm looking at. All right. There has to be, I know because you're a solutionist, there has to be a question you would like to ask me at this point.
So if you have a question, go ahead and you can raise your hand if you guys know how to do that, or just unmute yourself. Patty, you always have a question.
Patty, I love that smiling face.
All right. Well, so when it comes to time blocking, how do you schedule your day? Like, do you do all your calls in the morning and do your other stuff in the afternoon?
Oh, Patty, thank you. A basic question, but one where people stumble regularly. Always get sales and contribution done in the morning. Always, 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 always. The whirlwind begins in the afternoon, and every single thing in the world will come out of the woodwork and take you away from working on your business. You know, there's working in and on. Working in your business is the files you've got, learning about your products and services. Working on your business is all those habits I just shared with you now, where you get people on the radar screen. Get that done first thing in the morning. You feel fantastic. So, a typical day for Roger. Wake up at the same time every day, 6 o'clock. Speak to my significant other and say, honey, how can I make your day fantastic? When I first started to do that, she wondered what I was smoking. She thought, what's going on here? But it starts my day as a reminder that I'm in a contribution state. I go downstairs and I move my body for 20 minutes on my Bowflex. I don't feel like it, but motion equals emotion. I'm in a much better state afterwards. And if you don't have a Bowflex or a Peloton, take the dog for a walk or run up and down the stairs, but get the mechanics of the body working. So I set aside 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the morning to move my body. I stay away from Pop-Tarts. I eat something healthy. And I don't like vegetables. So my wife is smart. She's got a Vitamix, a blender, and she puts all the horrors of the world, kale, cauliflower, all the junk that I hate. And then she puts a couple of bits of fruit in there, and it tastes like a fruit drink, and I down it. So I endeavor to eat healthy in the morning. So by the time 9 o'clock rolls around, it's now time for me to speak to my clients. I'm in peak state. You cannot become wealthy without wealthy habits. Morning routines, and then 20 minutes for my daily routines, a little bit of my weekly routines, and then I'm ready for appointments, my day, whatever it is. I've got it out of the way. I know I have just changed the trajectory of my life. So thank you. Morning habits, schedule time for daily and weekly, and then I'm free for the rest of the day. That's my flex time. That's my executive time. Did that answer your question, Patty?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're so very welcome. I appreciate the question. So let me just jump back here. Has everybody got their workbook in front of them there? And the workbook, if you haven't, I understand, download it at some point. But for those of you that do, I just want to provide you with some of the answers that I left blank. So let me get back here into my screen.
And we're going to be, for those of you that don't have it, we're going to be re-emailing you, everybody that attended this. So we'll send you out something as well. We'll send you the workbook just in case, but we should have sent that out initially too.
Very good. All right. So there on this screen here, you can see the front page and the back page. Front page, back page. The back page is just from a 10,000-foot view, what is available to you. From a fabulous pre-game, how to get your mind peak state pre-listing, how to knock on the door, how to engage, how to create a constructive tension, how to go into their dining room, and before you do anything, say something in your life has changed and I want to know all about it. How to ask house whisperer questions, how to think on your feet, how to prevent a commissionectomy. It is my stock in trade. I can help you with all of these things. Just check in here, and I've got a more extensive PowerPoint of this presentation. Just check all you want and send it over to me. I can't wait to engage. I'm giving away a couple of free 30-minute coaching sessions. No money involved. You're not risking your money. You're just risking yourself to try something new. There on the front page, there's a QR code. If you scan it, it will capture all your information when you can go onto my web page. So let's go first of all to page number 4. Page number 4. What are the common roadblocks that realtors have in their career? For the novice, what is the roadblock of the novice? Here's the roadblock. Where do I begin? So right there in that box next to the novice, where do I begin? Then there's the hermit. The hermit is the crab who keeps thinking about the old days, waiting for the old days to come back. What is the roadblock for the hermit? Change. Change. I will get you unstuck from that. For the professional, what is their roadblock? How much more commitment do I have to throw to my day? I haven't got a life. Then for the mega producer, normally the person who's in charge of a team, what is their biggest roadblock? Oh my goodness. How much more overhead do I have to put in? How much more overhead? And then finally, for the transformer, you or the potential you, what is your roadblock that you've overcome? You know how to focus. Focus. You know the 20% of activities that generate 80% of the outcome. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you will increase your income per hour so you can spend more time off. Next one, which is on page 7. This is where the transformer excels. Here we go. They use technology and computers, but minimize the screen time and enhance focused FaceTime. Great technology should streamline your business so you can reduce screen time and enhance FaceTime. My stock in trade is I will show you at FaceTime how you can build trust, reduce tension, build trust, and with those two lines cross, business takes place. Here's the transformer journey. We'll go through these real quick. The industry calls the customer the unit. I'm looking at the top of page 8, ladies and gentlemen. The industry calls the customer a unit or the client, calls the customer the agent. The transformer talks and extols customer service. Everything is not about other name. It's just about customer service. Industry produces dialogues and closing techniques. The transformer asks, how can I add value? How can I contribute? I'm not just interested in dialogues and closing techniques. That's a pivotal change. The industry stresses contests, gamification, market share, win and lose. The transformer stresses cooperation and collaboration. The industry wants a quick win. Get the listing, even if you lose it, just as long as your name is on the sign. How awful. The transformer wants success. And because they'll ask questions, they know how to get success. The industry is into personal promotion. The transformer is into personal service. See the difference? See the difference? The industry works at all, not the transformer. They work the 20% that generates 80% of the outcome. See the difference? The industry is into personal assistance. The transformer is into personal contact. Forward questions. The industry says more is better. The transformer says to have more, I'll get better. In other words, always improving your skills, not just wanting more. I will improve to get more. The industry is obsessed with volume. The transformer is concerned with profit. Those 20% of activities that generate 80% of the outcome. And you can see when you and I work together, we'll go in under each one of these. This will be your journey to be the transformer. The industry wants high income. The transformer wants high income per hour. The industry wants to be famous. The transformer wants to be rich. I intend to make you rich. It's a huge difference here. So as we wind up here on page 10, what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve from Thomas Edison, you also know from being a great salesperson, what you focus on expands. When you focus on that 20%, it grows to fill your life. Most of us, because we're not focused, are too busy to be productive. Page 18. Look at all the different places where your leads come from. Acquaintances, 31%. Referrals, 20%. Past clients, 19%. All the way down to radio ads, 1%. Here's the kicker. Look at the bottom here. The answer, 85% of the marketing dollars are spent on the bottom 4 here. In other words, you spend 85%, or the industry does, spends 85% on radio, magazine, signs, newspaper ads, and social media. Yet, 85% of the business comes from agent contact, past clients, referrals, and acquaintances. It's time to become a transformer. It's time to be focused on the 20% that generate 80% of the activities. I'm going to move the little boxes here so I can see a little better here. All right. National Association of Realtors survey of 50,000 home buyers and sellers. Look at number 3. Most couldn't remember, the sellers, most couldn't remember the interest rate. Wasn't that important? And the most important aspect of that survey was, did it close on time? Master your love for these people. And then finally, your pre-game ritual. This is just one little example. Your pre-game ritual, know your customer and I will help you with that. Know what you intend to accomplish. I'm a master at assisting you with goals. Know your strategy, which is the transformer strategy. Know your drop back positions. And finally, know when to walk away. 15% of your clients only want the lowest price. No matter how much value you can bring, they just want you to cut your commission. They just want the lowest price. We know that as lenders as well. How do you recognize that 15%? So the question I would ask, do you want 80% of your commissions at full price or 100% discounted? Think about it. You want 80% at full price. That is when you work less and have more profit. And you are proud of who you are. You stand in your strength and you think on your feet. Allow me to ensure you never have to have a commissionectomy and then you know how to walk away from the rest. These Transformer 9 habits, weekly and daily, are trend benders. You could be cruising along in your career and with a simple change have growth that we can honestly ask, what happened here? What happened here? So I'm back to you, ladies and gentlemen. I am so honored that you took time to be with this guy with a funny accent. I talk funny, but believe me, my heart, I know exactly who I am and how to change value. I'm living my dream at the moment as an unshackler, as an ambassador of optimism. I know that I am energized every day when I can influence your life. Just one bit. One thing can change everything. Can't wait to have that conversation. Thank you, Nick.
Wow, Roger. Awesome as always. Awesome. So I don't know if you guys caught this page, the 30-minute thing. Roger, I've known Roger for a long time. He's never offered 30 minutes with him. So highly recommend that you guys do that. Fill that information out, put the QR code and do that. It's on the workbook. We'll be sending the workbooks out as well. But I definitely think, getting Roger, as you can see, is just a wealth of knowledge. This is really just the tip of the iceberg of what he has. I mean, he could sit and talk on this subject probably for, 8-10 hours straight. So, but just understand that. So we are very blessed to have him. Thank you, Roger. I really appreciate you a lot. And I'm looking forward to, Roger and I are part of Michael Mayer's, we're certified referral trainers, and we're going to be training out in Arizona at the end of September. So looking forward to seeing you there in person. That'll be awesome. Other thing too, you guys, I have, for those of you that are local, I have a client event on August 12th. There's some definite, we're doing a comedy night, should be a lot of fun. If you want to go, text me if you haven't seen the invitation. My cell is 916-718-9816. Other thing too is I have Michael Mayer on September 9th. He's going to be doing a training like this as well. And it's going to be on the Great Retrace. So it's going to be pretty special to have the author, everything, and one of my mentors. And Roger, you're one of my mentors as well, and a dear friend. And so I really appreciate it. So we have a minute or so, couple minutes. Anybody have a question for Roger? I'm telling you, you don't get Roger this often. So anything? Anybody?
I do, Neil.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. Roger, first and foremost, thank you for your time. This is awesome. Neil, thanks for putting this together. Roger, you talked about busy versus productivity and goes to time blocking. And I think there's a misnomer out there, something I'm learning. I'd like your take on this. Time blocking, we time block our entire day. We don't leave any white space in there for things that come up. You've mentioned the morning being critical. So I want your take on time blocking the entire day versus the most important part of the day. And my other question for you is the drop back position that you mentioned. What is that?
Mhm. Okay. And thank you, Mark. First of all, a little understanding. If you ask most people what is multitasking, they will tell you being able to do multiple things at the same time. And that is currently a big mistake and a big error. It's a myth. Time blocking, Mark, is doing one thing at a time for a specified period of time. When you're doing multiple things together, that's called stacking or polyphasing. And it actually reduces your IQ and makes you a little bit more stupid. So when you do one thing at a time for a specified period of time, it is almost mandatory that means time block. And when many of my loan originator colleagues say to me, I don't like working with realtors because they're not friendly, they're not nice people. No. It's not that they're not nice people. It's that they are focused and they're only doing what's in their plan. They say no to everything else that happens at that time. So to circle back to your specific question, the morning routine, you wake up in the morning, do not check your email. Stop checking social media. You are in big trouble. You start off losing. Your first 2-3 hours in the morning is Mark Fuller time. It is for Mark to get himself into peak state, eat, move your body, read 10 pages of your book, say something nice to your spouse, think about your day and how you're going to start it at peak state. And then in your planner, at the same time every day, you start your day, making your calls, writing your 2 notes. That should be done by 9:30. Now you are ready to work with your current transactions. You've left your lunch hour open just in case you can go and do a live CMA with somebody or take somebody to lunch. And then your afternoon is filled with flex time, but it's working in your business. Everything to do with your current transaction. So again, I don't wish to make your job sound simplistic, but it's not. You have a difficult job. And when so many people have so many decisions and go wrong in so many different ways, I empathize with you. But mindset for a specific time. Then daily routines, weekly routines, and then rest of day to work in your business. But get that contribution time done early in the morning and throughout the day. Every time you meet someone, remember to ask them 4 questions. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. That brings in your live interviews. It gets you into the flow with people, constant contact. There was a second question about, was it fallback position you said?
Yeah, that drop back position. What is that?
You go in, let's say it's for the listing presentation, you give of your heart. You understand, you still stay true to yourself, you ask all the questions you have to do, and still they say, will you cut your income? My neighbors got their listing agent to do it for 5%. Will you do it for 5%? How am I going to get you to do the following thing, Mark? Will you look at them and do this? And count to 6 seconds. It's going to feel interminable, that 6 seconds, as they dared to ask you to cut your income. Just look rather amazed. Count it 1, 2, 3. It feels interminable. But suddenly they go, well, if you don't ask, you don't get. And you go, well, I acknowledge that you asked. Let's move on. And if they still continue to do that, I have about 3 or 4 other techniques that you would use. But after a certain point, it's time to walk away. Drive away. So I could refer you on to somebody else. We're clearly not a fit. And you go and park by the lake and you scream into the world. You know that Roger, I'll punch him next time I see him. But you are probably encountering that 15% that just want the cheapest price. And once you give that discount, you open yourself to abuse for the rest of the transaction. because they sense that you can be abused. Are there any other questions?
Those are great questions, Mark. Jamie, you had a question? I don't know if she could unmute herself. Jamie, you have, she had who you recommend to manage customer base. I wanted a little more clarity on that, Jamie. Are you talking about, I mean, Roger, I'm guessing you need to be managing your own database, right? And not necessarily a customer person is what I'm guessing where she's getting at.
All right.
Oh, here, she's unmuted. Okay, go ahead, Jamie.
Hi, Neil. Hi, Roger. I was just wondering if there was a system that you recommend using. Obviously, I know we maintain it ourselves and should be looking at it frequently, but is there a particular database that you would recommend that you think is agent friendly?
Well, whatever it is, you know that trite answer. The best database is the one you use. That's a trite answer. And there's some truth to it. No matter which one it is, even if it's a simple Excel spreadsheet, that's something if you're using it. But try and make sure it's mobile friendly. It's got a calendar. And the more simple, the better the use. So from 10,000 foot view, that's that. But here's the bigger point. Some people say, I've got 2,000 people that I know. What's the best database? So whether it's Salesforce, whether it's Total Expert, whether it's Surefire, I don't mind which one you use. Put your 2,000 people in there, start the journeys, start the campaigns, that's fine. And what happens is that people do that and then go, all right, now that I've got my past clients in a CRM, where's my leads? Here is the learning point to you. Here's the learning point. The maximum amount of people that you can have a meaningful relationship with at any one time in your career is 150. Write that number down. It's called Dunbar's number, 150. So who makes up that 150? Falls into two buckets. Anyone who has ever entrusted you with their money for any reason is bucket number one. Bucket number two, someone who might not have done a deal with you, but they always advocate for you. They always refer you. So the two buckets, anyone who's ever entrusted you with their money. Second bucket, anyone who advocates or is your ambassador, who have given you one or more leads. See how close you can get those two buckets to 150. Those 150 get your personalized attention every day. Every single day for half an hour, you contact 6 of them or 7 of them until you get to the end of the 150 and you get to the top and you start again. The rest of that 2,000, they get the stupid little recipe. They get the stupid little newsletter, what's going on from your database. But your 150, it becomes your personal gated community. It becomes a little thing that you bump into the universe every day. These are people that know you, trust you, like you. Why? Because they've entrusted you with their money in the past and they refer you. This is your army. Those people get at least half an hour of your attention every day. They get your personalized note. They get the flow call, the forward call. These people change your world. Did that answer your question?
That was great, Roger.
Thank you.
Well, everybody, we're going to end right now. I like starting on time and ending on time too. And Roger, hey, thank you so much. Hopefully you guys will be able to have Roger back in Sacramento live. That would be awesome. Maybe sometime down the line. So we'll figure out, and for you Zoomers, we'll figure out a way to Zoom you guys in. So
All right.
anyways,
thank you, Roger.
You are welcome, you guys. Thank you so much, Roger. I really appreciate it. And thank you everybody for showing up and taking time and trusting us to come and listen and learn. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.